Hi everyone, let's talk about another very awesome and cool feature of JavaScript, and that is called the spread operator. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to go ahead and show you the applications of spread operator through an example. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two arrays, const. The first one I'm going to call odd numbers, and this is going to be equal to 1, 3, and 5. That's it. And the second one is going to be even numbers. That is going to be 2, 4, and 6. Let's change the name to even numbers. Everything is making sense so far, right? Now, what if we want to combine these two arrays together? Now, this is what the spread operator allows us to do. With the spread operator, we can spread the items of one array or one iterable into another iterable. An iterable in JavaScript is an array, a node list, a map, and a set. We're going to talk about maps and sets. I think they're going to come towards the end of this tutorial series, but we are going to cover them as well. Don't worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another variable that is going to be const numbers. And the syntax for a spread operator is triple dots. That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread the odd numbers array into this array. It means I'm going to pluck out the syntax of the array. And how do we do that? It's like removing this bracket and removing this bracket and grabbing all of the numbers and putting it here. That's exactly what spread does. And then I'm going to separate these values from the values that I'm going to spread from the even numbers. Now, what is this going to give us? It's going to give us something like this. So I'm going to show it to you. It's like I'm grabbing all these three values, putting them right here, and then I'm going to grab all these three values and I'm putting it right here. This is what spread is going to do for us. So console.log numbers, and let's save that. There we go. So we've got 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6, and it is an array. Now, you are familiar with how spread works. We can actually add numbers in between here. So I'm going to comment that one out, add another one. So after this comma, let's say I'm going to add 10, 20, 30, and then another comma. Keep in mind, there has to be a comma. And when I save it, they're going to come in between 10, 20, and 30. Now, another cool feature that spread allows us to do is to make a copy of an array. Because normally, if you copy an array, it is going to end up a disaster. And how, you might be asking. Okay, let's say we have another variable that is called const new numbers. This is a new array. This is a new array. And what I would like to do is I would like to grab all the content of the odd numbers array, put it in here. So I'm going to say equal to odd numbers. So far, everything is making sense. As soon as I console log this, we can see the result. New numbers. Save it. There we go. It is 1, 3, and 5. But what about when maybe there is a situation where I want to add another number to our new numbers array. Let's say I want to add another number, or I want to change some number. So I'm going to say const. I'm not going to say constant. I'm going to say new numbers. Let's say at the index of 2, I would like to add 20. Let's save that. So now instead of 1, 3, 5, or I could just say 19, since it is new numbers, so it's not like odd or even, whatever. So I can just leave it as 20. It is 1, 3, 5. Cool. 1, 3, 20. Sorry. But what happened to the odd numbers array? Because I clearly changed new numbers. What about the odd array? So I'm going to say console.log. And as soon as I say odd numbers and we take a look at it, whoops, what did we do? We changed the odd numbers array as well. And that's because whenever you are actually copying an array like this, you are copying the reference to an actual array. And that reference is being copied. And that the array that is stored in the memory, that only has only one reference, because we have not actually copied the actual array. We have put the reference of the odd numbers array into the new numbers. The array that is stored in the memory is the same array. We just copied the reference. And when we change the reference, since the reference is only pointing to one array in the memory, it is going to change that array. Now, this is what I meant by ending up in a disaster. Now, how can we fix this? How can we actually end up with this feature that we want to have? We want to be able to actually copy arrays. How can we do that? Now, the spread operator helps us with this. I'm going to create another new numbers, and I'm going to set it to the odd numbers. So far, this is everything we have done, but I'm going to wrap it within an array, and I'm going to put the spread operator right there. Now, these two arrays are different. This is a new array, and the content, they just happen to be the same, but new numbers is a different array than odd numbers. We can just do the same thing, and we can take a look at that. Let me comment this one out. Let's save that. There we go. So new numbers, which comes from line number 15, this one, you can see it says 1, 3, and 20, but odd numbers, which comes from line number 16, is still 1, 3, 5. So using the spread operator, we can easily copy arrays. Let's take a look at a little bit more real-world example. And I'm going to separate this logic. There we go. Let's just move up. Let's say we have a function. So what am I saying? Let's say we have an object, not a function, and the object's name is Mike. What we are going to do is we are going to say, okay, where does Mike go to school? It is Chicago Public School, somewhere right there. Okay, let me fix this. Let me fix this as well. There we go. So Mike goes to the Chicago Public School. What grade is he in? He is in 5th grade. And what are his subjects? What does he study in school? So subjects is actually an array, which I'm not going to type. I'm just going to copy paste the value right here, the items. So he studies mathematics, history, geography, and physics. Let's say a couple of subjects are added to this array, the array of subjects. How are we going to do that? So we are going to try one way, and then we're going to go back to spread operator and how spread operator is going to allow us to actually achieve this. I'm going to create another variable, and I'm going to call it school subjects. And I'm going to set it to an array. Now, the new values that are added are chemistry, and let's say the other subject is astronomy. There we go. And what I would like to do is I would like to grab the Mike's subjects and put them here as well. Since this is an array, it should be very easy to put one array inside another array. Let's take a look at the result, console.log. It's not going to be something that we want, because what we have actually done is we have ended up with a nested array in the school subjects array. Let's save that. There we go. So this item that has an index of 2 is actually a nested array right here. We can see that it is a nested array. Now, this is not something that we want. We want to be able to have all these subjects within this 5th grade, all of them to be within one array. All of them, like all the items. We don't want nested arrays. Now, the way that we can do that is using the spread operator. And that is we are going to spread all the values right here. And as soon as I save this, let me put that right here, you can see everything is spread out. We have chemistry, astronomy, and then we have mathematics, history, geography, and physics. This is a very, very good use for the spread operator. I'm going to give you another example as well. And school subjects, Mike. Okay. What did I do there? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's bring this comment down below. Let's say we have an array of numbers, all right? And I'm going to say const numbers is equal to, we have 1, 3, let's add 5, let's add 45, let's add 98, let's add 784, let's add 135, let's add 4510. Save everything. This is an array. And let's say we have another array that is const even numbers, and it is equal to, I'm going to comment this one out for our example. And this one is equal to 2, 4, and 6, 8, and 10. Now, how can you basically grab this array and push it to the end of this array? How can you do that? Let's take a look at an example of that. I'm going to grab the numbers array and I'm going to say dot push, and within here I'm going to pass in an array, and I'm going to pass in the even numbers array. I'm going to save that. Let's take a look at the numbers array. And when I save it, as soon as I save it, we can see that we haven't actually pushed the items. We've actually pushed an entire array. Now, before pushing the array, we need to spread all the items from the array into the numbers array. So it's not like, again, a nested case. This is where the spread operator is useful as well. And I'm going to pass in 3 dots, and it's so simple, just 3 dots. And I can see that all of the items, they're actually within one array. And that's it for this video. See you in the next one.